So we come into a Qigong motion called Retrieving the Moon from the Sea. Always far out names. Yes, so we're just taking that motion and putting it with a Pilates breathing, which we're going to do in a minute. It's a very simple motion, as a lot of Qigong ones are. They're just motions, you know. Obviously within, when you're doing Qigong or Qigong, what you like to call it, wherever you're from, you will be going into the meridians, the organs, which I've done on other tapes, but I'm just going to literally go with a motion. It's a warm-up motion for Pilates. Pilates can be anything. We're just taking that breathing, adding it to whatever it is. So we're going to do the opposite breathing to Qigong, basically, with a Qigong motion. It is a very simple motion. It's just coming up and down. They go all the way back. So as with all Pilates, we can put modifications in. No matter what it is, you should put modifications in. But some of the ancient yogas and Qigong, whatever it is, don't always have these modifications. You've got to put modifications in. So basically doing a shorter range of something and not going so violently on something. Basically, it's common sense really. But we're going to start off on the lower levels when we get the motion going and then give you the full motion. But we're going to do it with a little bit of support on the back, just in case you have got back problems. A lot of people do Pilates, they've got back problems. So I digress. So we're going to go straight into the breathing, the most important part. So right now, we're going to zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, okay? And just simply breathe normally, okay? So with that, I'm going to give you that awareness. We're going to zip up pelvic floor and scoop out our abdominals. Their muscles go together. You can't do one without the other, okay? I'm going to do some awareness stuff as you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. We're going to breathe in through the nose as you're doing that and exhale through pursed lips, keeping his shoulders down. I always say that because, again, most of us, including myself, are very overactive in these upper traps, the way we live today, etc. Like to compensate and take over. So shoulders are down. That's already happening. As you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals right now, you're breathing in through the nose constantly and exhaling through pursed lips within your own pace. And as you're doing that, that's going to put the breath up into these lower lobes of lungs. So to see that's happening with that awareness, we're going to get these two middle fingers touching underneath the breastbone, the sternum, the breastbone, what we call the xiphoid process, palms on the lower lobes of lungs, as you're right now zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. And simply, constantly breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. You'll feel that breath come into these lower lobes of the lungs, so much though the tip of the fingers slightly part and come back to touch each other. That's just letting you know right now, as you do this, that the breath's going anywhere but our belly button. The opposite of Qigong breathing. Okay, we want to throw in that corset 3 layers deep. We call the transverse abdominis, which we'll go into detail in a minute. So awareness and support the spine. Okay. Again, as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, keep breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. As though you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Lovely. You're going to keep them fingers there with the shoulders down. You'll feel them fingers just moving like seaweed on the bottom seabed to the sides and back. Just adding width to the lungs and length to the out breath as you keep on zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. Taking navel towards the spine, breathing through the nose whenever you like, and exhaling through pursed lips at your pace. Now again, the only way to explain the pelvic floor is your long journey, you go to the toilet, that's your pelvic floor. The corset muscle is 3 layers deep, wrapping around your spine. Okay, them muscles go together. You can't do one without the other. You're thinking, what's one muscle, the other muscle? They go together. Okay, you can't do one without the other. So to show you that happens as you're right now still zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals and still breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips, we take the hands away from these fish gills, okay, these lower lobes of lungs, and we're going to get the 2 thumbs here around what we call the B line. Okay, from the hips, we're going to come all the way and meet in the middle. That's your beeline, separating the pelvic floor and our corset muscle. So as you keep zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, do a little bit of awareness on these muscles. So pelvic floor is lower underneath the beeline. Okay, the corset muscle links on around this beeline, wrapping around the spine, 3 layers deep to segmentally stabilise your spines. You've got pelvic floor lower, and your corset muscle is wrapping round 3 layers deep, linking onto the pelvic floor like cling film. And again, just to show you as you're doing that, beeline here, as you cough, everything comes in. So again, that's what's happening as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals. If you do one or the other, they're both happening basically. Right now, as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, keep breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. As you let the hands go now, with that awareness, just being aware of their muscles helps us use them in a correct fashion. Okay, lovely. That throws on that corset to support the spine as we're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. Allow that simplicity to relax the mind as you keep zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals and breathing in through the nose whenever you like and exhaling through pursed lips. You're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Lovely. That's what we call lateral thoracic breathing in Pilates. It helps us use our pelvic floor and our corset muscle in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe right now anywhere but our belly buttons. But keep breathing into them lower lobes of lungs, then fish gills, 3D style. Keep breathing organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep into them lower lobes of lungs. So someone's pushing out from inside your rib cage and letting go. Keep breathing into that accordion, the ribs. Even imagine someone's pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go, or someone just opening an umbrella inside your ribs and letting go. That lovely, free, expansive breath. Keep breathing in right now, organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep, into them lower lobes of lungs. The intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but your stomach. Lovely. As you're breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. That exhale works like that cough or sneeze. Helps you naturally, right now, zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, even easier. Lovely. Lateral thoracic breathing. Helping us breathe anywhere but our belly button. Because there's nowhere else the breath to go right now as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, apart from into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Lovely. Lateral thoracic breathing there. So we're breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. You can follow the journey up through the nose as you breathe in. You inhale and you exhale through pursed lips as you breathe out. Lovely. So we do in a vinyasa way, breath synchronized movement. We link that to the motion. So again, we can modify. I always go for the modified version first. It's up to you. Again, the motion, I'm going to go back here. So again, the full motion is this, coming back here, but I'm going to modify it. It's Pilates. So from here, feet hip width apart, facing the front, not regimentally. So again, we're going to breathe with the spine. So again, we're going to exhale down and breathing come up, okay, as we do this. So we go between the legs. So it's up to you how wide you take the legs or how deep you go. Again, it could be a small one here. Doesn't matter if you really crop your back up or you go further. I personally would keep the Iyengar yoga principles of going no lower than your knees and 9 toes. Okay, give me a centimetre or a millimetre or a foot. So you're going to exhale down, breathing, come up. When we come up though, we're going to spread the fingers around the back and support here with that little bit of extension called Mackenzie's back extension. Just spread the fingers here or leave it out. You know, if you really crop your back up, don't even go there. Okay, so I'm going to come here so you can see this bit. Exhale down, breathing, come back up. Spread the fingers around the back if you are coming back. Okay, only go down as deep as you keep the knees in line with toes. When you get there, the knees are in line with toes. If you do want to go deeper, stick your tailbone back and out, but no lower than you keep your knees in line with toes. Keep that alignment, that Iyengar Yoga alignment. Again, I'll demonstrate. Exhaling down, breathing in, coming up here. Support the back if you are having that extension. It's breathing for the nose, exhale. No lower than knees and line with toes. If you want to go deeper, stick your tailbone back and out, but no lower than you keep these knees in line with toes. You want the bigger motion, support the back. I'm going to throw that in. Again, the full version here is back there. If you're right with that, go for that. Just link and calibrate and synchronise the breath and the motion. Integrate the breath and the motion. Okay, exhaling down, breathing in, coming back up. Again, nice simple move. Okay, breathe with the spine. We're breathing with the spine on this. So as you exhale, just think of when you're really knackered, you're tired, you're into a race, you're knackered, and the spine's going like this. It's breathing, exhaling out, breathing in, coming back up. The spine's doing that in micro moves all day long. Exhaling, breathing in, exhaling, breathing in. So we're just breathing with the spine, that primal pattern of the body, exhaling down, breathing in, coming back up. Spread the fingers around the back. If you have that extension, find that corset still, okay? Because again, here the corset will try and sort of come out, and you've got 3 layers of abdominals. It'll try and overuse the top one, the 6-pack, and dome out that way. So really find that corset. Doesn't matter, you don't have to see it go in like that. Just have that emphasis of doing that. Okay, again, exhale down, breathing in, coming up, and find your pace to make it as easy or as hard as you like. It's your union of your mind and body. Again, if you want to minimise the motion, it could be like if you really just put your back out, it could be just supporting on the thighs even here, and then coming back just to get a bit of motion there and some muscle memory in that corset muscle. Remember, we've got that 6-pack muscle, then we've got the internal obliques going on across like a cross, and then we've got that corset muscle. Okay, just by tucking in the belly button, zipping up pelvic floor, or tucking in the belly button, or doing both, okay, we will engage that transverse abdominis. Again, even around the back, we've got the lumbar fasciophagia, the back of the corset muscle. Okay, you don't have to know these names, but again, just having this awareness, I find with anatomy, helps us go in a little bit deeper. And kind of a bit of an anorak on the anatomy, helps us going deeper and work in rather than just working out. Bang, so that was embracing, retrieving the moon from the sea, okay? Some funny names, but again, yeah, that one comes from a Chinese poet. You got drunk and like the beauty of the moon and trying to retrieve the moon from the sea. Again, a bit of useless folklore there, but again, as a Qigong posture, again, it's just motion. Don't get too caught up in what it is. Oh, this is Qigong, whatever. I'm taking that and just putting the Pilates breathing on. Another one will do yogic breathing with it, and then hypnotherapy breathing with it, and mixtures. But again, it's just movement. No one governs movement. Doesn't have to be in this exact order. As I say, Qigong goes, well, I've done them more other tapes, it goes into the meridians, etc., the organs. Bang, but that was a Pilates bit of breathing. And again, take this awareness into everyday life. You don't have to be thrown on that corset the whole time. But say you're going to pick up a box, it's a little bit, you've done your back in before, you might want to throw that corset on before you do it. And, use that awareness, that alignment of, bending at the knees, etc. Bang.